Yo! Video games.
So, good job, Kenny. You beat it. Now you get to play the fucking story mode. Good luck with that. You did it, Kenny. You did it. Game mode?
Hey man, I know how much it costs to make a Killer Instinct
Who did
character.
that? Seriously, who did
Took
that?
a bite of a cookie?
Somebody bit into a cookie and then just left it there.
Kenny.
Seriously.
Kenny.
Please.
Kenny.
Please.
Kenny.
Come on, guys.
I know roughly how much Killer Instinct characters cost, and they're cheaper than that because that's an Xbox Live Arcade game. That is a budget title.
The studio can't even afford like 10 mil or 3 mil a character and shit. Like fucking. Well, I mean, Microsoft could afford it, but they're not going to spend that kind of money for a character.
It ends up being very expensive in the long run.
Because it seems like EA was releasing characters like every fucking like month. Like they're throwing characters out like crazy, man.
Alright, Max. We didn't talk about you and your fucking Debbie Downer and negative danciness towards all things Platinum Games lately.
Well, they need to come out with something good.
Apparently there was a bunch of behind closed door shit for Scalebound at GameStop.
Were they good?
Yeah.
Nice.
Apparently it's amazing. There's
Good.
even the thing where you can switch control to the dragon and you fight dragon on dragon and it's like becomes like this Godzilla simulator.
So it's finally becoming a game.
Yeah, and they're saying that there's like almost infinite combos because you can like combo. You start comboing with the dude, and then like you switch over to the dragon. You like continue the air combo with the dragon.
Holy shit.
Shit like that, and I was like, bro.
Holy shit, that sounds good.
Well, why is it behind closed doors? I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Omnislayer, everyone's like, why does it cost so much to make a fighting game character? And I was just about to say, if you want to ask anyone how expensive it is to make the fighting game character, talk to Mike Z and talk about Skullgirls. And that is cheap. What they do for Skullgirls is like minimum wage type shit to make that game a possibility. And each Skullgirls character is $800,000.
$800,000.
To animate a Skullgirls character, to get their audio done, to balance test, program.
It's hand-drawn, each character, every sprite, and every fucking...
Having things hand-drawn, and that's done by like 3 people, but imagine you have like a team of 30 dudes.
Right.
And you have to pay all of them. And they can't be paid minimum wage like Skullgirls people are paid minimum wage.
Well, okay. The budget of Skullgirls is, I mean, who knows? I don't know if this is budget of Skullgirls, but I guarantee it's way less than Street Fighter. The fact that they can do what they can with Skullgirls and what Street Fighter does with Street Fighter just tells you that somebody has talent, well, I mean, obviously labor of love, that too, but somebody at the studio is getting paid to do nothing. Or somebody is getting paid to do work that one person is doing.
Producers and executives are getting a lot of that money.
Oh yeah, they're getting a ton of that.
That is what happens a lot of the time.
Right. The thing is that, like you said, there's a larger group of people working on Street Fighter. Well, that one person over at working on Skullgirls is doing all of their jobs, pretty much. So. And
the thing is, SJ Fox is saying Skullgirls is hand-drawn, they're more expensive than 3D models. Hand-drawn compared to 3D is the direct correlation isn't expense, it's talent. It's the fact that the talent for hand-drawn isn't as freely available anymore as it was back in the day. So the bidding for people that are actually talented enough to do it is hard as fuck. To actually get those people, they're expensive. So now it's become expensive just because there's so few people that actually even know how to do the hand-drawn shit. And that's why you don't see a lot of hand-drawn stuff anymore, is because the talent isn't nearly as big before. So yeah.
So it's basically guys who know how to do the art for those 3D characters are extorting.
There's a ton. There's way more 3D artists than there is 2D artists, 2D animation artists nowadays.
Yeah. So
way more.
The 2D artists are extorting the fuck out of everybody else.
This is also like and the way those people and the way they're managed is another big issue that's also affected the entertainment industry over the past few years. To work in the special effects industry is a fucking nightmare unless you work for like DreamWorks or some shit. But it is very rough because essentially movie companies come out and they bid on like $10 million for the effects on this movie. and then someone will bid even cheaper, and then they got to keep going cheaper, and people just aren't getting fucking paid for working at all anymore. There's so many special effects houses.
The thing is that this is why Disney has such a bad rap when it comes to their employees, because they throw out contracts to make sure that artists do that to them in the
With Hurtbox, that's the thing, is that for a game like Guilty Gear, Jewel MC, thank you, dude, it comes down to talent and passion. That's pretty much what it boils down to. He says, but Guilty Gear's models are more time-consuming and better looking than Street Fighter V's, but no way ASW has the same budget as Capcom. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. There's no way Guilty Gear costs as much as a Street Fighter game. Simply because the staff for Guilty Gear games is small.
Yeah.
Like, and I've talked to I've talked to Daisuke himself, and he's like, the team is small. It really comes down to talent.
Yeah.
It comes down to how good are they at doing this? How much do they want to invest to figuring out how to use Unreal to make it look sick as fuck, you know?
Well, that's what I was talking about. Like, one guy over at Guilty Gear is doing the job of 10 guys over at fucking Capcom.
Potentially.
So, it's
And
like,
we've already found out that Street Fighter V has been outsourced across the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Like, barely any of it was actually made by Capcom. And really, what not a lot of people realize is that all the Capcom fighting games you've played over this generation and the past generation weren't made by Capcom. They were made by Dimps and they were made by 8-8, which are two development companies. Like, similar to how you would say Microsoft made Killer Instinct. Well, no. Technically, Double Helix and Iron Galaxy made Killer Instinct. Microsoft owns the IP and they have creative freedom over it, so they have like their creative rights and they make decisions. But the game's programmed and designed and pretty much created by those development studios. Not a lot of people realize that this is how games are actually made.
The funny thing is that I seriously doubt Microsoft would shell out $3 million for a character for Killer Instinct. You know? Like, they wouldn't touch that kind of numbers to make a character in Killer Instinct.
What do you mean? What's that again?
Microsoft wouldn't shell out like $3 million to make one character.
Well, it's a fucking budget-ass Xbox Live Arcade game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It always has.
I'm surprised that Capcom would shell out that kind of money for each character in a... You don't know how much?
Some guy in the chat's like, welcome to my life. Yeah. Reppy style, thank you, dude. Yeah, Street Fighter V was made by Dimps. Street Fighter Cross Tekken was made by Dimps. Street Fighter 4 was made by Dimps. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom was made by 8-8, and so is Marvel 3 and Ultimate Marvel 3. No programming or actual coding and implementation of art was done in Capcom. Like, they come up with design, and these other guys do it. Tetris fan, thank you, dude. You know what Capcom made last year for sure? Resident Evil 6. Or Monster Hunter. They made Monster Hunter, they made Resident Evil 6, they made Remake. That was done Capcom in-house for sure.
Umbrella Corps was done in-house.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Isn't it made by...
Done by that young kid that they...
Oh, Umbrella Corps. Okay, I was thinking Raccoon City.
Oh, no.
Like, Raccoon City's made by the
I
SOCOM
said
guys.
Umbrella Chronicles was copycat.
No, you said Corps. I just thought Raccoon City.
Umbrella Corps was made by in-house at Capcom.
Shit. That means they ain't doing shit, dude. Why?
But this is not anything new. This is how, like, a lot of fucking games are made.
Well, why is in-house Capcom making 3D games? Like, why are they still obsessed with that when they've done better work with fighting games?
Do you think any of those people work at the company anymore? In fact, most of them moved to SNK, which is the guy that did all the Capcom fighting games for the past several fucking 15 years. Went to SNK so we can work on video games again.
It seems weird because you know how this happens. Like, okay, when somebody says, "Okay, I'm gonna leave the company," and you got a couple of other people that are starting to leave the company, you think that they would hire?
They make it
somebody to
very
replace
hard for you to leave the company, by the way. They make it very hard.
Well, because it's not just a company you're working for; it's like a family.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's dishonorable.
What I'm saying is that when people start to leave the company, they don't take initiative to replace those people right away. So that when everybody's left the company, they're left without an entire department of people that used to work on said, let's say, fighting games. Now they're just, oh, well, now we only have people that work on 3D fucking shooters. So let's just focus on that in-house. And you're like, what happened to everybody that used to work on the fighting games? Oh, they're gone now. Will you never replace anyone? Like, no.
Well, mostly, like, they weren't guys that just work on fighting games. They do a lot of different
You
things.
can't just replace talent.
Yeah, that's what, well,
You can't be like...
We give like 3 weeks notice or 2 weeks notice and shit, you know? Like...
You can't be like, well, we need a new Michael Jackson. Let's get somebody that's as good as Michael Jackson.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I get that, obviously. But, I mean...
You can't just replace Clover. Clover left. Nobody fucking filled Clover's shoes.
Yeah, like...
But
no one...
that Yugo, is it a real Yugo or is it just like
That's
a
a
billboard?
That's a billboard. No, wait. Good question, actually. You don't know.
Well, it's obvious that KOF doesn't have that kind of budget because you can see it in the character models. And you can see it in the game. It's like they don't have the artistic budget for KOF 14. That was the game. The game looks the way it does because of the stylistic choice based on the budget they have.
That is a really good cardboard and stuff. Yeah, it's supposed to be real.
Here, show me your gun.
Is Q in the back? I don't think he is.
I didn't see him in the back.
Yeah.
Behind a bagel.
You're behind a bagel.
Make Street Fighter 5 free to play. Well, that would never happen. It would, yeah. Well, they could do it like Street Fighter Revolution. I mean, I'm sorry, Tekken Revolution.
You can do it like Dead or Alive.
They picked Ryu and Anakaris?
Oh yeah, that's a really good combo.
Crazy fuck.
They mesh well.
Alright, playing Titanfall 2 beta. After the first Titanfall, I think I'm done. DJ Ghouls 88, thank you, dude.
No, you get like the 4 characters for free.
Yeah. Well, like, KI.
KI has like a month free rotation.
Oh, okay. I thought they had like 3, like, available.
There's always a free character for KI, but you come back 1 week later, it might not be the same character.
Yeah. It'd be good for those guys that like to play, like,
But the whole game is available. Like, you want to play arcade mode, training, survival, anything online, anything is free.
Yeah.
This music's kind of sick.
Anybody watch the new Thundercat show that got canceled besides BoJack?
No. No, I think I'm good on Titanfall 2, guys, because I'm just sick of shooting games where everyone's jumping and running around and shit. Running on walls and double jumping, I'm just done with it. I don't like it. It was really cool the first year or two, and then after a few years, I'm like, I fucking hate this shit.
It would have to come down to what did they add that was new in the game that would impress me enough to want to continue playing it. That's literally.
And really, dude, really, Overwatch is fucking fantastic. I love playing it every time I play it.
Like
and Call of Duty 4 is about to come out. Fucking, like, Call of Duty 4, like, greatest of all time type of games, unless it sucks bad. So we'll see. Mega Man 88 for 14 months. Thank you, dude.
You know you just want to play Infinite, man. Like, that's your favorite. That's
Infinite?
Yeah. Call of Duty Infinite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, you know you just want to play it.
I will never. I might
You
play
will
this.
play
I
that
might play
game
this
over
single-
and over
I might play
again.
this single player. That'll be about it.
Yeah, you're gonna go online. You're gonna love it. Yeah, play online.
I'll love it and play it just about as I did of the what the fuck is the other one called? Call of Duty something Warfare Advanced, something like that. Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 3, I'll play it as much as I did that. All for 2 or 3 days.
So you'll give it a shot.
Oh, I don't even know. Well, considering that Call of Duty 4 is coming, the chances of me ever firing up Infinite Warfare are slim to none. Like, why would I? It's Call of Duty 4. It's one of the greatest shooting games of all time. Being remastered. Like, that sounds fucking incredible. The only thing that could be bad is that the netcode's bad, and I have a NetDooma to fix that. So, there you go. Oh, why would I? Why?
Yeah, people are all over Juggernaut. I like Stopping Power.
Yeah, Juggernaut's pretty good, but I use Soften Power.
Both are pretty OP.
Oh yeah, both.
Juggernaut with a shotgun is annoying as fuck. And all the good combos in COD 4. That was the first shooting game I played competitively.
Still haven't said what maps.
Have they not said the 10 maps?
Oh, don't you have to buy like from GameStop to get the other map too? Like there's like a you have to buy from somewhere special.
Apparently it's just in the $80 version. So the game's just like there. I don't know if it's a separate disc or what.
Maybe you have to like pre-order it or something. Fuck that. You're the one that won.
I lost.
Yeah, you beat me though.
I lost.
Yeah, you beat me, so you get to be the hero and play.
No, they're not going to change anything in Call of Duty 4, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't change trip frags, and they shouldn't change Juggernaut, which is what everyone's going to complain about. They shouldn't change those things.
You know what? Fuck those guys.
The game is the way it is, the way it is.